Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to the Glide tutorial. In today's episode, we're working on encrypting our data we had for the save file. So it's a little bit more secure, so it's a little bit more, well, you can't modify it if you're just a player that's looking at it basically. You need to go through a key. Now, of course, this is not the most secure way you can go about it. As long as it's on your machine, everybody could go ahead and try to reverse engineer your game, but I don't think they'll go to that extent for a mobile game. Okay, so let's have a look here in our helper class. In our helper class, we have the serialize and also the deserialize function. We're going to go down here and now create a encrypt in a decrypt function. Now to encrypt or decrypt, you need a key. That key is going to be a, let's do a private static string. And now you can put whatever you want in here. The longer your key, the bigger the file is going to be in the end. So it's really up to you how secure you want to be. I'm just going to be putting something like 123986 plus some random character. Why not? ABC. Okay. So it's really up to you. You just make something that is, I guess, a little bit complicated. And that string is going to be called our hash. So that's what we're going to be hashing with. Now the function we want to create is a private string encrypt. Let's make it static. So actually, let's make it public and static. Public static string encrypt, and we send in a input. So the input is going to be another string, so string input. That's the string we want to send in, and at the end we want to have another string that we'll call R, and we do return R. Okay, so let's actually fill that R value. First, what we need to do is actually convert our input into a byte array. So byte array data is equal to UTF-8 encoding, and now that's not going to be included, so you're going to have to include using system.text at the top here. So UTF encoding, we do UTF-8 again, we do a get bytes, and the actual value, so input in this case. Now using MD5, because we're going to be using the MD5 encrypting. I know this one is kind of out to date as of like really recently, but I haven't really played with any other right now. So let's do MD5 crypto service provider. Now this one is in the using security cryptography at the top here. We'll want to declare this one MD5. And it's a new service provider. Once we have our service provider, we're going to go ahead and create a key. So byte array key is equal to MD5 compute hash UTF encoding UTF-8, and we do a get byte again of our key. Now our key is the hash, the thing we just created up here. So we basically just convert it back into a byte array for our key. And we'll go ahead and just add another service provider in here. So using triple DS crypto service provider, let's call it trip, is equal to a new service provider. And we're going to define an array right away for this guy. So just open the curly brace after the parentheses, and we're going to say key is equal to our key. And then mode is equal to cipher mode dot ECB. Well, I'm going to be super honest with you guys. I'm not quite sure what the cipher mode is, but after a quick Google search, I think it's just a way in which you encrypt every single block of data. But I'm just going to keep going and declare the padding mode to PKCS7. Again, I encourage you to Google it if you want to know more. Okay, so once we have this other service provider, we're going to be using a iCrypto transform, or let's just call it TR, and then we'll do trip create encryptor. Oops, I can't type. Then get the result out of it. So byte array result is equal to TR transform final block with our data being the input string, and then input offset. We don't want to have any offset, so let's put that on 0. What's the next one? Input count, so data that count. Actually, we don't have dot count. It's an array. Dot length. My bad. Cool. So once we have our byte array, we have the result, and I'm actually going to return right away, right in here. So return, and I don't want to be using R, so let's just remove this. Let's also remove the string at the beginning. we're simply going to return it right away by doing a convert. So return convert that to base 64 string. Let me just check if I need something. I need to use system here, so simply using system. And then to base 64 string, we want to be doing result 0 and result dot length. And that's not a 0. Here we go. So that's our function to encrypt. To decrypt, it's the exact same thing. So let's just copy all of this over. And we're going to need an input as well. Now, this is called decrypt. Here on the first line, we're going to get the bytes of a convert from base 64 string. And we're going to be using our input in here. Here we're still using MD5. Here we're still using the same exact hash. Still using the triple des. However, here we want to be creating a decryptor instead. And then what else do we need to change? Oh, this over here. We need to change it to UTF-8 encoding. So we basically just swap these two calls here, the first one and also the last one. They're using different way to convert the initial input. So this one is a get string of the result. And just like this, we managed to create both our function. We also have our key, which is right here. And we're going to test it out. So I'd like to just test this out by going, say, in the save manager. And then let's go in the awake. Let's do a debug.log helper encrypt. Let's encrypt something like hello. So I'm going to jump into my game now and try to see. Whoa, what is the problem here? I forgot to close my class. So yeah, we're gonna go jump right into the game and have a look at what encrypted hello is down here. So that's encrypted hello. Let's actually copy this over. Copy. And just afterward, in my save manager, I'll go do a debug.log helper decrypt. And we're going to decrypt that string we've got out of the encrypted hello. Let's see what it gives us. And it gives us hello back. So as you can tell, we went through encryption and decryption of the same exact string. And it should actually work for our save game as well. So now, whenever we do a save right here, instead of doing a serialize, well actually we're going to keep the serialize, but what I'll do here is I'll add another call in front of it. So helper encrypt, and we're going to encrypt this whole XML product here. And when we load, we do the exact same thing. However, we are going to, in which order should I put this? Oh, right about here. So before getting the get string, we'll do a helper decrypt, and we're decrypting this whole thing. And then once it's decrypted, it's gonna actually serialize it. Oh, sorry, deserialize it. Let's give this a try. So we're gonna have corrupted data for the very first save. So I'm gonna go say up here. I'll do a reset save. So reset save. Let's save this, run the game once. And it should actually be a reset. Now I'm going to remove it, boot the game again, and see if we can still keep our data. So I'm going to go ahead and try to complete the first level. My remote is not actually plugged in, so I'll cheat a little bit. But let's actually try with coins. So we have 1 coin now, we have 2 coins now. Let's go back to the menu, we have 2 coins. Stop, play again. And is it going to work? We don't get any errors down here, which is great. We still have 2 coins, and we just managed to actually encrypt our data. Alright, so I'm quickly going to do a test right here just to see how our new string looks like in the player pref. So we'll do a debug.log. Let's do player pref get string, and we're gonna get the string that is saved under our player pref. So if the player opens it and he tries to modify stuff in our actual string, what he's gonna end up seeing is this. Now this is really hard to modify. I don't know if you can actually try and decrypt it, but that's the whole save file. It's saved as this, basically. It's a real mess. This is only to tell you that you have 2 coins saved up. That's also holding all the states of everything you buy and the complete level. So that's our old save state object. And when you see it that way, you can't really modify it. I don't think you can actually read it at all. But that is actually where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. Thank you so much for tuning along all this time. We're going to start working on content a little bit. So I'll try to actually create a level, create a trail, show you how it's done, so we can actually start and put some content in this game, because the game right now is really boring. We have nothing to do. We have nothing to really complete. Yeah, sure, there's the first and second level, but that's really boring. So guys, we'll be doing that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then.